compliments of Facebook Marketplace, in the last month, I have been introduced to a man who I have been referring to as my wood turning Mr. Miyagi. And his name is Jay Lee. And when I went to go visit him the first time, it was to buy a bowl coring set. And if you guys follow Cut Above Bowl Company, that's the apparatus that he uses to make bowl cores, and somebody had one for sale locally, and I was like, well, I've got to own this. Turns out that Mr. J. Lee is quite the engineer, and he invented his own sharpening system. And I didn't fully understand how it worked, and I didn't really have enough time to go check out his shop, which is awesome. And he said, leave a tool with me. I'll sharpen it up for you. And I was like, okay, I'll leave a tool with you. So he sharpens up this thing, and it's got some marker on it from him fixing the edge. And we're going to try and focus in on this, but it is, there we go, mirror sharp along that top edge where the marker is not, which is crazy awesome. But then while I was there on my second visit, he was like, hey, I know you turn big bowls. I don't really get into that. I'm big into turning apples. Also, I'm out of focus. Come on, computer. Anyway, let's back it up and bring it in. He was like, hey, do you want this obnoxious gouge, which is the size of Cleveland? And if my camera ever focuses on me again, that'd be super duper. Proud of you, computer. But yeah, this is a 7/8 inch bowl gouge. This is not a spindle roughing gouge. This is the bowl gouge that ate Manhattan, and it is hilariously awesome.
So he gave you a lead pipe.
Basically, it was, when you explain to people that you met somebody on the internet and then followed them down to their basement and then they showed you their tools in their workshop, gets, because of the implications, right? Right.
Little free. TJ, we went live.
Oh.
Hi.
Super.
Welcome, friends. This is episode 155 of Sawdust Talk, and we are joined tonight with Mr. Alex Duffy, my fellow Pacific Northwest maker, and he likes things like outer space and aliens and Bigfoots and things like that, and we love him for that. He's also been called the godfather of Workbench Con, and we will get into all of that after TJ goes through our sponsors.
Absolutely. First sponsor that we thank every week is Hannah and the team over at Surf Prep. They make some of the finest sanders on the market. And if dust collection is a true priority for you, their HEPA filter-based dust collection system is the bomb. It burps the filters so they don't stay clogged up. And let me tell you, if you try to use not a Surf Prep or a very fancy filter system while you're doing maybe some drywall work, you will quickly find out that you have given your entire area a light dusting of sawdust mess or drywall mess. They also just released 9-inch drywall donuts for drywall sanders, and they are super cool. All of the work that your sander does when it's up there on the ceiling and on the walls takes place around the edge anyway, so that makes sure that all the dust collection ports on any machine are free to operate as effectively as possible. Really cool stuff. If you are shopping over at Surf Prep, please use coupon code Sawdust Talk and save yourself a little bit of money and make the team at Surf Prep feel like that their efforts with us are worthwhile. Speaking of efforts with us, let's talk about Casey Bombshell Design. If you want a piece of Sawdust Talk merchandise, well, CaseyBombshell.com is the place that you're going to go to get yourself a lovely, stone-washed, extra soft, 40% Lycra, double wonderful Sawdust Talk t-shirt. It is wonderful. There are hoodies. I don't think we have Sawdust Talk nightcaps yet, but if you're going to be sleeping in a Sawdust Talk shirt, we need to get you a Sawdust Talk nightcap. I mean, really, if you're going to go the full Wee Willie Winky, let's wear our nightcaps, boys and girls. And then we also need to talk about Makers for St. Jude, which we will be talking about a ton during this episode, but we partnered up with Mike and Woodworker versus Cancer and Makers for St. Jude to raise money to fight childhood cancer, which sucks. And we're going to really run this the whole episode. So this is a big St. Jude episode. But if you make cool stuff and you think you might want to get involved with fundraising for kids with cancer, listen up. This is the episode to listen to. And Mike, we love having our wagon hitched to you. You're a good man, Charlie Brown. Finally, there is a Patreon for this channel. I believe a free level is in the works. I had a phone call with a fellow who's going to help me develop that. And yeah, so go to Patreon, check out Sawdust Talk. And even if you don't feel like donating less than a cup of coffee every month to our cause to help us get to the cons and see you guys in person, that's fine. I just want to see you guys on Patreon at the free level. Nothing would please me more.
Awesome. I think we covered most of it. But Alex Duffy, for people that don't know you, give us a brief intro.
Yeah, so my name's Alex. I run Duffy Woodcraft here on Instagram and on YouTube. Is TJ showing you the key of Workbench Con I made this past year because I was lovingly named the mayor of Workbench Con by a bunch of friends this past year. It's been super fun. I make everything from coasters to UFO light up lamps. I specifically run mostly now these days on my CNC. So I do a lot of custom CNC work. I'm one of the instructors over at CNC with me. And as you were talking about Makers St. Jude, I'm one of the co-hosts for this spring's fundraiser, which we'll talk about a little bit more here soon. But yeah, I have a lot of fun in this community. I try and hitch my wagon across the board to everybody because I just love talking and hanging out with everybody. This community is one of the best things out there, and being able to be part of it is incredible. So I have a lot of fun playing around and doing everything I can to help support it.
That's wonderful. So when you were on our show for the first time, a little over 50 episodes ago, and for those of you who are archivists, go back. We'll talk about Mr. Duffy and his wood turning, right? Because we were wood turning nerds. Yep. And then there was a trip to Workbench Con, not this year, but the year prior. Yep. Where you made some really cool friends. Do you want to talk about that friendship that you made at...
Yeah. So episode 104 was my first one on with you guys. Yeah, it was mainly about, who I was at that time and a lot of wood turning because that's what got me into woodworking. And honestly, I probably haven't turned since that episode. And that's, well, no, I've turned a little bit after that, but mostly
don't make TJ mad, okay?
I know, I'm sorry. But yeah, so I went to Workbench Con for my first time, which was incredible. One, it was great to meet you guys in person, meet all these people that I absolutely love from the internet, and all the friends that I've made in person, which has been great. And then while I was there, I met up. So actually, a couple of weeks prior to the Workbench Con, I had reached out to a CNC company called Next Wave CNC. There were at the time I had their small little 1x2 inch CNC that I was making a ton of little cribbage boards with. And I reached out to them saying, hey, you guys going to be there? I'd love to meet you. I love your products. Love to talk business with you and get to know you guys more. And they're like, no, we're not going to be there. We don't have a booth. And then like a week before, I got a message from them saying, oh, actually, we're going to go, but we're just going to go as a spectator this year. And so if you'd like to meet up, we can. And so I met Evan from Next Wave, and it was so much fun. He's a great guy. We hung out the majority of the time at Workbench Con, pretty much every night. Went out to dinner one night and just had fun. And then I kind of gave him a little bit of a pitch as far as working with them, and he was very gracious enough to say yes and work with me. So now I'm running their HD 520, which is the 2x4 machine. I started a YouTube channel right after that, specifically all around Next Wave and CNC, getting started and learning your CNC and starting with easy projects. And then recently, just because apparently when I throw myself in all the way. So I've been learning a ton. And so now I'm one of the instructors over at CNC with me. And I specialize in vetric training. We're going to be doing some... Sorry, very loud car. we're going to be doing some Vetric specific training with that website soon, along with so what we call power projects and a whole other things that are coming. That is just a super lot of fun. So if you like CNC work, that's where my life is at this point. I found that that's really my passion, is working with CNC, because it really is limitless. I recently just got a 4th axis and I haven't hooked it up yet, but been learning the software portion of it, which means I can turn on my CNC. So I can't wait to start doing like my own custom chessboard pieces, and I can make my UFOs on it and just things like that, which would be really fun.
I mean, we need to now have a race, by the way, like John Henry, man versus machine.
You're gonna win.
You can do a double-sided carve of a bowl, and I'll make a bowl on my machine, and we'll go live, and we'll just play Johnny Cash singing "The Legend of John Henry."
I love that idea, but I guarantee you will win.
I know I wouldn't enter if I could.
CNC's measure in the hours for 3D carves, not necessarily minutes.
I know. I would say, as we were talking before the show, as the kids would say these days, that's cool AF.
Maybe I am a kid. I do say that.
Okay, cool. Cool AF. So talk about your YouTube though. Like, you, in the last year, you have gained a ton of traction on YouTube.
Thank you.
Your channel has grown a lot. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Zero. Because I started. I'm actually coming up in 30 days. I'm coming up on my 1-year mark, because I started on actually 29 days now, on May 29th of last year. And so, I committed to doing, to myself, I committed doing 2 videos a month or every other week, depending on the month. And I've done it since. And actually, I've done more than that, a couple extra videos here and there. And it's just, I've had so much good feedback from people of what they like to see. And it's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. It's definitely not something people should get into just for the fun of it, if you want to actually grow and be consistent with it, because YouTube's algorithm really wants you to be consistent. So if you're going to do it, you need to, commit to that and stick with it. It's still a very small account. I'm still a little under 4,000 followers, but that's 4,000 people that tune in and watch my videos, which I am still shocked that people want to hear my voice talk, because I hate listening to my self-talk on the videos.
Everybody does. Everybody hates their own voice.
We brought you on specifically to hear your voice talk. Thank you very much. And we have refined taste. I have refined taste, Jessie, but we are here for you, buddy, and we love hearing you talk.
Well, thank you.
One of the shows that you used to do, and we talked about it in the past, was like the Pacific Northwest Oddities and Aliens Sam Squatchapalooza.
Yeah, sort of.
I butchered it, but like, does it have an acronym or something? Like, I can only remember so many things.
It's just called Sasquatch Fest.
Sasquatch Fest, yes. Okay, I need a reminder about the levity that is experienced at Sasquatch Fest.
Yeah, and there's a couple of them since the last time I was on. There's another market that I take place in, which is the McMinimans UFO Fest. And that one's coming up at middle of this month, which is what I've been focused a lot on right now, getting stuff ready. So Pacific Northwest, as Jessie knows, we love Sasquatch. We love everything weird. Portland's, the city I live near, we call ourselves the city of weird, and our theme is Keep Portland Weird. So we like everything goofy and oddity, and it's just a goof. So every January is Sasquatch Fest in Longview, Washington, which brings people from all across the United States, and speakers like these guys that you see on the Discovery Channel who do those like Finding Sasquatch shows and all that. They come and they talk at it, and you can see tons of plaster footprints, and there's people dress up for it, and it's a huge event, and it's a lot of fun. As a vendor, I love going to it because I get to see a whole bunch. It's great people watching. You get to see a whole bunch of different people and stuff, so it's great people watching. And even more so than is UFO Fest in May, because that one is probably 4 or 5 times the bigger. It's consistently the second largest UFO fest outside of Roswell. So Roswell's number 1, McMinnville UFO Fest is number 2. Last year they had just over 30,000 people that came. Like this year, if you're in the UFO scene, Lou Elizondo, David Grush, Jason Ferver, like all these big names that are the big whistleblowers that say they've worked on these programs or worked with them, programs as in the UFO recovery programs. They're all going to be there and talking. It's the 25th anniversary this year, and it's a lot of fun. It's a 2-day event this year, Friday and Saturday. There's a parade on Saturday, which is literally out of this world. And again, people dress up. There's UFO costumes or alien costumes. There's floats. There's all the businesses in town get behind it. It's a show, so it's a lot of fun. I can't wait for it.
So would it be in bad taste to CNC Sasquatch footprint makers? Like, like 2 big feet. So it would be like clown shoes, but it would leave Sasquatch footprints. And then, like put like a little platform.
That might be bad.
Like in the name of genuinely making fake Bigfoot prints.
If you're out there to mess with people, yeah, that's probably bad form. Though I do regularly make Bigfoot trays, the foot shape in a tray that people can, serve up their charcuterie and everything in. So
you know what? I gotta say that nothing says intimate party snacks like salt cured meats served on the hairy foot of a mythological super primate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really feel like you've nailed your audience there, man.
It definitely brings people's attention for sure.
Oh man, that's cool.
I'm trying to find. Have you ever been on Highway 20? It's like one of the last stops before you go over the pass, and it's like a Bigfoot coffee place.
So yeah, they're actually a chain. There's a couple of them all throughout there's like 10 of them throughout the Washington.
No, but this is like they have a Bigfoot, like a big giant Bigfoot.
Oh, really? Okay.
And like, yeah, it's amazing. Like if you ever go to Eastern Washington, take Highway 20 over the pass, and about halfway up, it's one of the last stops. There's a Bigfoot coffee cafe kind of place, and it's an awesome stop. And it's so cool. And you can sit like they have like a patio where you can sit, and there's like waterfalls in the background and stuff. Like it's beautiful.
Well, Interstate 5 is Bigfoot Highway. There's more sightings of Bigfoot on that highway than anywhere else. So you can see them regularly there, apparently, if you're driving between Portland and Seattle.
Yeah.
You got to come north.
Yeah, I know. I need to come visit you up there.
You do.
Oh, but yeah, gosh. Fun fact about a slightly different Bigfoot. Bigfoot, the one of 2 original monster trucks. It was Bigfoot and Gravedigger.
Yes.
From St. Louis, Missouri. Cool kids.
There you go. I saw them multiple times growing up at the Metrodome in Minnesota before that imploded. Cool. But yeah. Back when it was just $5 Sunday.
Right. And I really feel like $5 Sunday should still be the price of Monster Jam.
Absolutely.
I think you can still get motorcycle ice racing for $5.
I did look it up recently, and I think they were up to $25 a seat, at least here in Portland. So it's still relatively cheap.
Yeah, there's also like a competitor, like Hot Wheels does a Hot Wheels Monster Jam kind of thing. I don't want to give product placement. Well, actually, I do. I love Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels, get in on this show. We're super cool.
I paid money to see some of the Hot Wheels cars do loop-de-loops.
Right, and like they have like a monster truck and dirt jumping and crushing cars and awesomeness.
Nice.
But yeah, fun other Bigfoot fact. Okay, we do need to talk a little bit more about UFOs, specifically UFO lamps, and you don't have to give us all of your trade secrets. Do you have one proximal to where you are right now?
No, but I can show you a photo.
That's even better.
Yes. They're all downstairs, packed up, ready for the UFO Fest currently.
Okay, well, that is.
But I can show you. So here's one of my favorite ones right now, which. So here's a good example. It's just a nice piece of ash on the bottom. I've carved out a hole for Bigfoot. He's got his little cave down there. There's grass with cows. And of course, the cow is being beamed up by the UFO. So each one of my lights have they're powered by a plug-in, and they have a little power switch on and off. So they're a great night light.
Oh man, my mom's going to make me buy that. She's probably watching right now. And yeah. Duffy, I don't think that one's going to make it to the fair. That's so cool.
That is a very nice piece of ash.
Yeah. Oh, and my wife is going to grab one. She's going to bring it up right now. She said,
"Huzzah! Support staff, thank you."
Yes.
So your wife actually won a giveaway from us.
She did. She won the Workbench Con ticket that we gave to Kara, who then, due to family stuff, couldn't go. But yes, she was all excited about getting in on that and being part of the fun of trying to get Kara a ticket at the time. So
she was lovely though, and the video she made was so sweet. And that's like, I feel like that's the epitome of like the maker community is like, I might not use it, but like I know someone who wants to do this, and just like being giving like that, and I just love that.
Yeah, fun story. I think I recorded that video a dozen times because she's like, nope, again.
Worth it. It totally worked.
It was perfect.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So we have a UFO lamp en route.
Yes.
But we are at about the 20-minute mark of this episode, and I want to make sure that we have tons of time to dedicate to the real reason why we have you on the show today.
Yes.
And we talked about it in our preamble a little bit, but you have recently become quite involved with Makers for St. Jude as well. So lay it on us, man. Use all the words. We want to hear it.
So I'm going to open up my call notes here, or my show notes, because I wanted to chat about that. So Mike, as you mentioned in the beginning, he is the face behind Makers for St. Jude. I'm getting delivery.
24 records, not 12. Thanks for trying. Be honest.
Support staff.
24 re-records.
Staff, yeah, he's in trouble.
Okay, we love you.
Yeah, thank you for being excellent and wonderful at the same time.
Yes. Okay, so here's one of the UFO lights. So they all have little power buttons on the back, and then they light up. I make all of them out of burl too, or most of them out of burl as well, because I really like it. Looks like an alien world. So, and little Sasquatch and everything. They're fun. And the UFOs I make on the CNC too, I make them in half, so then I glue them together. So they're really great. They're fun.
Bro, I'm going shopping after this episode's over. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, just let me know.
Dude, if you know how many hours of Finding Bigfoot, The Curse of Oak Island, and Sam Squatch Express, or whatever they call it, Sam Squatch, and then like another word, right? There's been like 20 years of that show. My mom and I, we are big Squatch fans. So yeah.
Okay. So back to Makers for St. Jude. So Mike is a dual cancer survivor. He was a childhood cancer survivor and an adult cancer survivor. If you guys don't know that, he's decided to use his passion as a maker and woodworker to raise money for St. Jude, and it is incredible. He was on St. Jude came and brought a video crew to his house and like filmed him and stuff. But his goal is to raise $100,000 for St. Jude in 3 years, and he's done the first year. Was my notes here, first year they did 11,000, which was in 2023, just over 40,000 last year in 2024. So this year our goal is $50,000, and which will put him well over his 100,000 goal. Currently sitting at 4,700 for the year. So on the way, but we have a long way to go. And I say we because he has graciously asked me and 3 others to co-host the spring fundraiser for this event. So basically what's happening is kicking off May 7th. So next week, we are going to kick off the spring fundraiser. And what that means is the makers throughout the whole community can sign up on makersforstjude.com. They can sign up to make an account and basically do a raffle of something that they've made. So, if anything from a UFO light to a cutting board to whatever you want to do or can do, you can create a raffle and then run it and put it up on the, what was that you were showing, Jessie? Oh, she got that too. Yeah, from another raffle. And so, there's tons of different things that you can do and to generate money. And it all goes towards the goal of 50,000 for this year. So myself, Jess from Scripting Grain, Tyler from Temecula Yard Games, and Grant from Dad Crafted are the 4 co-hosts for this spring fundraiser. And then Mike, of course, is the man and the main event of the show. But so far, we already have $2,200 worth of prizes for those who are involved. So basically, if you run a fundraiser, you automatically get your name thrown into many different prizes that we've been able to secure. So anything from a digital archive of the last 40 years of Wood Magazine to a year membership of CNC with me to a full membership of VCarve Pro, the CNC software. There's tons of different gifts in dust masks and gift cards. Like the Next Wave is offering a gift card to their website. And so lots of different things, something basically for everybody that participates. And yeah, it's going to be great. And if you are a business, feel free to, and you have product to raffle off, go ahead and raffle out. It's a great way to, one, as a charity expense, but two, then it's all going to a great cause. Cancer sucks. We all hate it. We know it's out there and it's not going anywhere until we fix it. And this is a great way for us to fix it, is to help kids who are in need. So it's something that so we haven't had cancer in my family directly as far as for kids, but my niece and nephew, when I was in high school, both passed away from something called SMA, which is a muscular issue. So I'm not unaware of how horrible things can happen to kids and how rough it is. And every one of these families, every dollar that you can help do, it just is immensely helpful to them. And it, even things from taking care of their medical bills to it helps take care of the housing for the parents who have to be next to the hospital and stay there with their kids, to the meals that they need to eat. It's just, there's so many things that it help with. And so, and if you can't do a raffle, keep watching out. Myself, Jess, Tyler, Grant, we're all going to be posting out the different raffles that we see and people tag us in, and we'll be sharing them out to get the words out as much as possible. So if you can't do a raffle, but you want to donate, there's tons of them that are going to be taking place. I'm going to be running one myself. I am going to be doing a whole kitchen themed raffle. I have a bunch of different kitchen products that I make. I have a great friend here in the Pacific Northwest. Her name is Kara. She from and East. She does amazing cutting boards. She's donated an amazing board for this as well. And so we're going to be doing a big kitchen themed raffle as well. So it's going to be a great time. So it's running May 7th through July 4th. So you've got plenty of time to do your fundraiser, to get word out and to get it up and running. But makersforstjude.com is the website. Go check it out. Click on the events and spring fundraiser, and you'll see all the information of either how to get involved, what prizes you can win, and eventually what raffles that are being run and stuff on there. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
I will add to that for just a second that Mike has been hard at work. They did update the website for St. Jude, and he has been hard at work making everything make sense. like Alex saying, if you post a raffle and you want to get that out to people, feel free to tag myself or TJ or Sawdust Talk. There are so many people that will pump up your raffle for you. So just keep that in mind. Like, we're all here to pump this up. Like, we're all on the same team and we all want to raise money for kids with cancer. So
Absolutely.
And if you're worried that like you're not a woodworker, but you like watching or listening to the show, my mom last year did a quilt and donated that, and that ended up raising, I think, just shy of $800. There's been all kinds of neat stuff that can be raffled. So
Exactly.
if
You don't
you
have
make
to be
cool
like-
stuff and you want to do cool things with your cool stuff for people who need your help, get in touch, get involved, and we will hold your hand and we will get it all set up and make it as easy for you as possible. So yeah, we need to know you want to be here and let us know.
Right, and you don't even have to be a maker. If you want to say, hey, I'm going to run 10 miles, and that you guys want to donate to make sure that I run these 10 miles or stuff like that, that's a great way to do it too. You don't have to be a maker. Just think out of the box, or again, like I said, you can raffle or reach out if you need questions or ask anything. We're all here to help.
I think
That's
that's
awesome.
I think that's really awesome. Because it doesn't have to be makers. Like, you do not have to physically create something to have a spot in Makers for St. Jude. On that note, though, we are still running the Harvey raffle for a nickel-plated bandsaw. I think the value is around $3,000, and I think we only have like 14 or 15 people.
There are 14 entrants in that raffle. If there was ever a time for you to get involved and to play the odds and steal this bandsaw out of Alex's hands, now is the time to go about doing it. And by Alex's hands, I also mean mine. I threw my hat in there as well. And
He's got more chances than I do. So,
well,
Okay,
again,
but
we're going to try and stay out of trouble. But
1 week left of this raffle.
1 week.
So y'all better throw in $30, whether you want the bandsaw or not. You're helping kids with cancer, so, and their families afford housing and treatment and all of the good things. So yes.
and it's an incredible brand saw. If you don't know anything about it yet, go just check out Harvey's Instagram page. Some of their posts lately have all been about this bandsaw, and it is top of the line.
Awesome.
I was looking, just drooling over some of the posts, just going, "Ooh, I have a nice bandsaw, but this is so much better." So
okay, but this is, I will clarify, this is not the AI one, because they just came out with the AI one. This is not the AI one. It's 3 horsepower. 14? Is it 14?
correct. Yeah, it's not the AI one. It's still an incredible bandsaw.
It is. Yes, for sure.
And if you didn't see that little comment that just popped up there, my wife said, if I win again, do I have to share with Alex?
No, you don't. That can be your bandsaw, and you can hold it hostage until, he does all of the things that he probably already does for you anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a to-do list that, keeps growing. But it's mostly products that she's like, you should make this. And I'm like, yeah, once I make all of this.
Okay, so we've covered our business. We've talked about Makers for St. Jude. We are so happy that you are here and co-hosting with a squad of cool people, including, I think it's you and at least 2 other former Sawdust Talk guests. I think Ann East is like in the first 50 episodes.
She's not one of the hosts. She's doing the raffle with me. But
raffle with you. Okay.
Yeah. So Jess from Scripting Grain, Tyler from Temecula Yard Games, and Grant from Dead Crafted.
I see. Okay, sorry. I should pay closer attention. For
Tyler's
shame.
been on a couple times.
Yeah.
Sure.
You should get them all on. And Jess is, by the way, I love Jess. I've been a big fan of hers for a long time. Met her for the first time at this last Workbench Con. She did one of the expert desks on AI and using AI as like your social media manager and brand manager and stuff. Literally the best talk I've ever heard at Workbench Con. I was blown away, and I've used all of the notes that I took during that class. It was phenomenal. So I highly recommend having her as a guest. She's a great person to chat with.
All right.
Very cool.
We will definitely reach out. Speaking of Workbench Con, I misspoke in the beginning of the show. I called you the Godfather, but you were named the mayor of Workbench Con. Tell us more about that.
So
how did that come about?
Yeah, so my friend Brian, Brian from Built by Bricker, he reached out, or we're both part of the Next Wave team, and we've been chatting for the last year and having a lot of fun getting to know each other. This was his first Workbench Con, so he came, and myself and a couple of others were the only ones he knew, so he hung out with us a lot as he was kind of getting his bearings. And you know how that first year is, you're intimidated to chat with everybody. But he'd be like, oh, do you know this, or do you know this person, or do you know who I could talk to about this? I'm like, yes. And I would take him to go introduce him to that person. Or somebody would come up to me and be like, hey, do you know this person? Or they'd know me already. And so he had I think it was an uncle who was a mayor of a small town, and that everybody knew him and he knew everybody. And so he started seeing that. He's like, you're like the mayor of Workbench Con. Everybody knows you and you know everybody. So him and a bunch of people started calling me that. And then TJ, you can cue it up for that. I sent out these little keys to friends that are these presented by the mayor of Workbench Con. So keys to the city, basically. So it was something that was a lot of fun, and to be able to send out to friends. And I'm so sorry I space sending you one, Jessie. I have one with your name on it. So I thought I had sent it, but I didn't. So I'm sending it to you. Don't worry.
It's okay. I'm not worried about it.
So
I'll wait for my key. I'll have to make, a special spot for it too. So
yeah, it's a magnet, so you can just put it anywhere. Put it right on the CNC.
I'll probably put it on my cabinet next to my picture of my daughter with her Pippi Longstocking hair in her class photo, which was hilarious.
Amazing. So it's fun. I by no means am I the mayor of Workbench Con or anything like that. As other people have Malcolm have pointed out, I was not elected, and so he's already talking about running a smear campaign against me for this next year's elections. So,
well, you don't want to cross Malcolm. He'll print bananas and hide them in your house when you're not looking.
And he already sent me a whole bunch of bananas.
That's what you get.
So there'll definitely be a campaign season for this next year. So
that's so wonderful. So I know that you keep a crazy tight schedule, and you're already teaching, and you maintain a full-time day job. And you have the process of becoming so ruggedly handsome every morning before work, and I'm sure that's time consuming as well. But how do we get you to Maker Camp? How do I get a second hangout with Alex Duffy in the year 2025?
It's on the list. It might not happen this year because I will be at AWSF. I'm going to be teaching a couple of CNC classes there. So that's July in Vegas. And then I haven't officially booked the tickets yet, but I am heavily looking at going to the Austin, Texas Woodworking Festival. And so I probably will be there for that too. So if you'll be at either of those, we can hang out.
We will be at one of those for sure.
Okay. So
we shall see.
Yes, Maker Camp is definitely on my list. I if I don't make it this year, I will be there next year for sure. It's just 2 East Coast trips in 1 year is a lot for me.
This is true. I mean, I'm the same way. I'm like, why is everything on the East Coast? Like, it's so far away. So AWF, I'm like, that's awesome. It's in Vegas. Like, that's not expensive to fly down there. But flying to New York for Maker Camp, that's expensive. So
Well, it's the fact that it's not even like it's 2 hours near the nearest airport. So like it's middle of nowhere.
yeah.
So you have to rent a car. You have to either camp or get an Airbnb. And since I'm not bringing all my camping gear, I'll get an Airbnb. And yeah, it's
Or
a
you
lot.
could get a trailer. You could get a RV share. I can
That's
give
true.
you
I
info
could.
on that.
Okay. I've also heard, a U-Haul works too in a pinch.
I saw that.
Trina.
I saw that. That
Yeah.
took place.
It wasn't
So-
bad actually. But I mean, Victoria could come too, and it would be like, like a couple's little getaway,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, nothing says romance like crafting and sleeping in a yurt. Like,
Oh, the yurt was cool.
The yurts are pretty cool. We're used to yurts out here. They're pretty cool.
I mean, Logan.
you know that.
Yeah, Logan and who was the other one? Logan and I don't know. They got a yurt though this last year. It wasn't bad. They just had to have like a heater in there.
Yeah.
at
Yeah, as
night,
long as
but-
it doesn't flood like it did a couple of years ago, that'd be fine for me.
Yeah, but even where the yurts are, it doesn't flood right there. They're
Okay.
like a little bit higher ground. So the yurts are cool. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I wouldn't be mad about a yurt.
Yeah.
so since we have you hostage for at least another 10 minutes, can I start ask you like a handful of really basic CNC
Absolutely.
questions? Things that just like sit in my nuggets, right? So I come from a 3D printing background, right? And there is voluminous libraries of various STL files for 3D printers to peruse and print and modify and all of that. That has to exist somewhere for CNC router folk.
Yes
correct?
and no. Just kind of like a 3D printing, you can buy a lot of files from Etsy. Like I sell some files on Etsy. I know a lot of people that do. There are some databases out there of different websites that do offer free files. Like I said, I'm one of the instructors over at CNC with me. That's Hamilton Dilbeck's community. Or a good portion of his files are up there on that community for free. And then a lot of us share our files. Like all of my files are out there for free as well, once you're a community member. So there are ways to get them. The nice thing about CNC, especially if you're going to do 3D stuff, you can take those STL files from the 3D printing world and do a 3D carve using them on a CNC. So you just have a software. So like I use Vectric and I use Aspire or Vectric's Aspire. You can also do it with VCarve Pro, where you can import a 3D model into it and then carve that 3D model on your CNC.
Once you have your fourth axis.
No, you don't even need the fourth axis. You can do flat 3D objects. So if it can be like a curved item or something like that. So for example, the UFOs, these are all carved on the CNC, and I just do one half at a time, and then I glue them together to do the half. I've also done we went on a cruise last year, and apparently a big thing with cruises are ducks. You hide ducks on the cruise. I had no idea about this thing, but people bring like hundreds of rubber ducks and hide them throughout the cruise. People find them. So I made a whole bunch of wooden ducks. Same thing. I did half of it on the CNC. I carved it, glued them together, and then I hid my wooden ducks throughout the boat. So
That sounds like a Jeep thing.
it is a Jeep thing. Jeep ducks are a thing as well. From what I understand, the cruise ducks started first.
Huh. Interesting.
But I'm sure I'm starting a fight somewhere. So
Probably. That's
probably.
okay.
But yeah,
I don't know. Perhaps it is a Jeep thing and we just
Yeah,
wouldn't understand.
maybe.
Right.
Yep. But yeah, so like when we were on the cruise, we made friends with some of the staff, and they're like, "Do you have ducks? Can I collect your ducks?" Like they were excited. So yeah, it's a thing.
That's awesome.
What other questions you got?
If I was going to not necessarily buy the CNC routers for dummies book, which is like a really outdated reference, and I don't think they do for dummies books anymore,
I bet you
or
they
maybe
do.
they do. I need to get out more. where do I head first? Where can I drink from the fire hose and disappear for a week and come back as a dangerously knowledgeable, maybe not good, but dangerously knowledgeable
Okay,
person?
hold on. Do you want to tell the people why you're asking all these CNC questions?
One, because he's an authority on the subject, and two, mine should be assembled here in a week or two.
There you go.
Yes.
What did you get, TJ?
Oh, I won a Onefinity fancy pants 48 by 32 cool kid spindulator 3004. Get jealous.
Love it. Yes. So there's a couple. I would say there are 3 places that I would recommend. One, just like how we all learned anything in this craft, YouTube University. That's where I started, and when I first started learning CNC, it's where I first started when I started watching turning videos. YouTube University is a great way, and it's free. Next, CNC with me. I love CNC with me. Again, Hamilton's community, and I'm one of the instructors at, and that's because it is very, very inclusive. Everybody no matter what machine you have, no matter what software you have, there's something for you in the community. So if you use Vetric, if you use Carveco, if you use, now I'm going to blank on the other. There's another Fusion. Sorry, if you use Fusion, now Makera has not Makera, Makera. The laser guys have their own version. Lightburn has their new CNC software that they just came out with. So it doesn't matter what software you have, doesn't matter what machine you have. There's NextWave users, there's AltWave users, there's Onefinity users. We're all there as a community to work together and learn from each other. So it's really great to watch. You can watch all of Hamilton's videos, you can watch mine, you can learn and create those files that we go through. Hamilton does all these really great, what he calls toolpath tutorials. So when he creates a file, you can download the file, but then he walks you through how to create all the toolpaths for your CNC, how you set your different bits and everything. So it's a great way to learn. So that's number 2. Number 3, I would say, is learnyourcnc.com. Kyle is over there. It's only Vetric centric from what I understand. But in my opinion, all those roads lead back to Vetric anyway, which is why that's what I use. But Kyle does a great job of having a bunch of different makers. I know Patrick with Crafted with Machines. He's one of his instructors over there. There's a bunch of different tutorials. And Kyle really is in my opinion, he is the CNC software wizard master. Like, he knows tricks that I can only dream of knowing. So if you want to learn from the best advanced guy in the world, he's the one to do it, especially around Vetric stuff. So that would be my recommendation.
Sorry, who is your go-to? Like, if you have a CNC issue or you can't figure something out, who is the first person that you call on in the maker community?
It would be Scott over at oh God, what is Scott's username?
Put you on the spot.
I know you totally did, and I am bad with remembering everybody's usernames because I'm bad with names in general.
Me too. It's fine.
So Scott is the Crafty Studio over on Instagram. He's also one of the Next Wave guys. He's been doing CNC a lot longer than me, and if I have a question, I take it to him. And the nice thing is the Next Wave team. The few of us that are content creators that work together, we all have a chat on Instagram. So we all talk to each other, and if we have a question, we throw it out there. And just because I don't know doesn't mean one of these guys, even though they're newer, isn't going to know. Like Brian is really, Brian Built by Bricker, he's been learning a lot, and I learn a lot from him. So it's great to just be in that, again, community. This whole community is the best part of it. So join a community if you're going to get into CNC.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like there's certain communities that are like more open. There's not a lot of like niches in the maker community where I feel like people gatekeep, but there are a few. But when it comes to like 3D printing and CNC, I feel like we all know enough people that we can reach out and say, hey, I'm having this issue. Like, do you know what to do? Like, can you help? And there's always going to be someone that's willing to help. So
Absolutely. And I've said this before, I think that's one of the favorite things about this community is because even though we're all, well, I said not all, but a good portion of us are selling our products, we are trying to make this a small business. And so, yes, technically we are competitors. People don't look at it that way. For the most part, and I'd say 95% of us all will be here to help you and do whatever we can. Again, and if you want one of my files, reach out. I'll gladly give it to you for free. I want you to learn and gladly help you with it any way you can. So
this is why we love you.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Okay, so we are down to our last 10 minutes or so of show. So we need to do one more lap through sponsors, the Reader's Digest condensed version. And then just because you've been on the show before and you're good friends with us does not mean that you are exempt from the final question. So that's right. You're ready to choke under the pressure. But first, let's talk about Surf Prep sanding systems. They got a 3x4 wiggle sander, which is like, okay, cool. There's wiggle sanders out there on the market, but the number of them that have dust collection involved in them as well is a very, very small group. And if you want a primo piece of gear that will get down into all of your nooks and crannies and will do its best to make sure that you've got the smoothest wood or the finest finish, slick as can be, you need to be going to Surf Prep. And if you do, use coupon code Sawdust Talk. If you want Sawdust Talk merchandise, go hit up kcbombshell.com. If you are also into tattoo flash and nerd culture inspired scroll saw art, there's some of that there as well. And thank you, Layla, for helping us out and making sure that that stuff gets delivered when it is ordered. And then we need to just remind you guys one more time, get involved with Makers for St. Jude. Get involved. It's so easy. You can do wonderful things by simply taking something that, might just be an extra piece. Might be something that you have kicking around. You never know. You probably have fans that you don't even know on your Instagram that would be like, it'd be really cool to get a piece of this person's work. Makers for St. Jude is a wonderful opportunity, and we'll hold your hand and make sure that everything goes as smooth as we can possibly have it happen. And Patreon for Sawdust Talk. Free tier coming soon. But also, $5 a month will help Jessie and I get to conferences, co-ed social get-togethers, meetups, maker events, and potentially help put a slightly better camera above Jessie's computer. And I think that's something we can all get behind. That brings us to the final question, Mr. Duffy. You know that every week we ask our guests to come up with a motivational thought or a quote or maybe just, a piece of advice or a reason for our viewers and our listeners to kick open the door to their workshop, maybe pick up a tool, maybe make a mess, or maybe just get generally awesome. What would you like to share with our viewers and listeners?
So much pressure. No matter what's going on in your life, no matter the pressures, we all have things going on. I always like to say, the dust will settle, get out and make something. That's it.
I love it.
That. It's simple, to the point.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Kick on the dust collector of your
Exactly.
life.
Alex, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Thank you guys.
As opposed to last night, but we don't need to go into that.
We had technical difficulties.
But anyways, to all the viewers, listeners, this has been episode 155 of Sawdust Talk with Mr. Alex Duffy, and we appreciate you so much, and we love you. And TJ, why don't you take us out?
We will see you next week. Usual bat time.